My name is Nick Wood. I'm a senior. Right now we're currently standing in Swearingen Engineering Center, and this is the home of the Chemical Engineering Department, the Electrical Engineering Department, and some of our computing majors. Yeah. My major is electrical engineering. Yeah, so electrical engineering is a pretty broad term. It's a pretty cool engineering field that's relatively new in terms of engineering. It pretty much incorporates anything to do with electronics, electricity, electromagnetism, and ways to use it. So as I said before, electrical engineering is a relatively new engineering field. We're starting to see a big boom in terms of electric power. Transitioning over to electric vehicles is a big thing nowadays. My uncle was actually an electrical engineer, so I got to see a lot of what goes into that work environment before I even got to this major. So I want to do a subfield of electrical engineering called power electronics. And so I would like to do power electronics in the aerospace or defense industry. So I've had a little bit of experience in that in terms of some of the research projects I've done, some of my internships, and I have a big interest in that field. Yeah, so I've done 2 internships during my time here. So sophomore summer going into junior year, I worked at Westrock Company, and they're a paper mill. So I got to see how paper mills turn steam into power through turbines. So that was really cool in terms of power generation, sort of similar to the stuff that I want to do when I get out of school. And the previous internship I had, which was this past summer, I actually worked for NASA at Goddard Space Flight Center in Greenbelt, Maryland. And that was a really cool internship in terms of getting familiar with RF communications, which is another part of electrical engineering. Very different from anything that I've done in school so far, or any of the classes that I've taken. But in terms of getting me more familiar with stuff that I'm not so good at, it was a great opportunity, and ultimately really followed suit with some sort of my career path in terms of wanting to work for the aerospace industry. My favorite course has been power electronics. I'm currently in that class right now. It's a very difficult class in terms of the subject matter, but my professor's awesome. It really is sort of kind of pinpointing the thing that I want to do when I graduate. So when you get into the electrical engineering department here, you do take a lot of labs. So our final lab is ELCT 302, which is Real-Time Systems Laboratory. And that entire lab is where you spend an entire semester building an autonomous electric vehicle that follows a signal carrying wire around the track. So it's a super cool project. You get to spend a whole semester on it, and ultimately at the end of the year, you get to race them for a prize at the end of the year. So I'm a big football fan. I grew up watching Carolina football since I was probably old enough to know what football was. So I've been to a lot of games even before I was a student here, but being in the student section and getting to cheer for the Gamecocks, especially when Sandstorm comes on, is a really cool thing. Yeah, so I'm an ambassador for the College of Engineering and Computing. So we essentially, we lead tours for prospective students and their families. We also hold open houses for incoming freshmen and also represent the college to industry leaders if they want to come in and take a look around. I'm also involved in a research project here. So I'm a part of a power electronics research team, which is working with Navitech, and they're a third-party defense contractor for the Department of Defense. And we're essentially working on developing a digital twin model for an all-electric naval warship. Yeah, I would say definitely make sure you come in with an open mind, especially for, coming from personal experience. I came from a really small high school. My graduating class was about 40 people, so when you get to a big environment like this where there's a lot to get involved with, just keep an open mind. Kind of go out on a limb, do some things that you wouldn't necessarily have thought about doing before you got here, because there is a lot to get involved with, and there's plenty to do, and definitely go for it. So I'm a big car guy, so this is kind of like a weird one for most people, but West Coast Customs is it's a new show on Netflix now where they kind of take in cars, rebuild them, sell them, and it's super cool to me because me and my dad like to watch that kind of stuff, so that's what I like to watch. There's a sense of family here that I think is, it's unreplicable anywhere else. you know, when I came here to tour as a freshman, you really do get the sense that everybody loves being here. There's people from all over the country here. We do have a lot of out-of-state students. It's about 50-50, I believe. So, you know, kind of getting all these different people from all different walks of life that come here and enjoy the same things that everyone else does. It's a really cool experience, and you really get a sense that you're home here.